I'm Dr. Jordin Wiggins, and this is the Pleasure Principles podcast. Join me on this journey where sex, science, and sensuality meet. Let's change the conversation around sex and pleasure together. Hello. Today we're doing things a little differently. We're going unscripted. Wanted to give you all an update on my Superwoman life, as well as answer a couple of your Q&As. So you're gonna have to wait for all the juicy details. Wait for the update on what's going on with me in my personal life. Let's get into the Q&As first. All right, the first question. How do I know that it's over? Hi, Dr. Jordin. I wanted to ask you, how do I know when it's over? When it's not your partner that you want anymore, that the spark is really not there, and it's other people that you seek? This is a question that I get asked all the time. I work with superwomen, remember? So we are really, really great achievers, fixers, overfunctioners, which means that in a lot of cases, we can attract underfunctioners or those that are comfortable just coasting. So we put in a lot of the efforting in relationships, which can build resentment. And we can also end up in that like teacher-student, mother-son dynamic, which is not sexy at all. It ruins the spark. So I just think a lot of the women that are called to work with me are very, very burnt out, possibly very resentful or questioning, if I go to this next level, will my relationship withstand it? And I get it. I've been there. I'm going to tell you a story. It's probably, 5 years ago. And Rob Candell. Hi, Rob. Such an amazing, kind man, brilliant man. And those moments that you remember in life, you remember forever. They're like imprinted so clearly in your brain. I'd worked an 11-hour day at my medical clinic, Health Overall. I'm going to tell you more about that later in my personal update. And I was debating whether or not to leave my husband. We'd grown apart. I was in my masculine. And anyways, I was on the phone with Rob and he asked me, he said, when you're done, you're done. Are you done? And I replied, yes. So I had my answer. Obviously, there was a lot more backstory to it. Another way of looking at this, simply put, is, do you have the energy for it anymore? And if you can simply answer these questions, if your gut, if your pink canary is speaking, then you know what to do. We can take one step at a time and move forward from that place. If you're still on the fence, 2 options for you. 1, there's a great book called Too Good to Leave, Too Bad to Stay. And the other option, and I know you superwomen, you want to pick up the book, you want to do the work. The other option, the deeper option, the more expansive option, if you're just sick of doing the work, is hire me. I love working with women in this dilemma. The fear of, if I grow, if I continue to grow, if I follow my desires, I fear this relationship won't work for me, that I've outgrown it. Or is there so much water under the bridge that this cannot be healed? Well, I will tell you one thing is for sure, and I might have been able to save my marriage if I knew then what I know now. Your thinking got you where you are in this current moment, and you definitely cannot heal a relationship from your masculine, from your superwoman. You need some new tools. There's a lot of work to be done, and if you are on the brink, you probably don't have the time to research it yourself. So I am happy to help you learn these lessons and speed up that process for you because I have been there. When we can go after our dreams, after our desire, and come from our true feminine heart, and we're inviting and enrolling our partners into it, it's generally a much, much different outcome. All right, question number 2. This is about vulva swelling and pain after sex. So we're having issues with swelling around her vagina after sex. We do foreplay, use lube, and try to keep it gentle to help. But we find ourselves limiting the number of times we have sex because that's the only thing that seems to work. While the swelling is annoying, it has led to some infections if it goes on for too long. Anything you know that would help? Thanks again. Okay, so I'm going to give 2 answers on this one. And it's not going to be, it might not necessarily be the popular answer. And I give this for like vaginismus, vulvodynia. So there's a lot of medical diagnoses. So I'm going to answer this one medically and also with the truth of what I know to be true after working with thousands of women on their sexual health and wellness. So let's start with the medical. Now, I have not, I'm answering this via Instagram DM, and this is not medical advice. This is just my opinion on a question. I've obviously not seen this or done any testing, so I recommend, and I'm assuming these people have seen their healthcare providers about this. So medically, things that we want to be thinking of. Have you been tested for STIs? I recommend doing this annually or whenever before you're with a new partner. Is there yeast infections or frequent UTIs, like other things going on as well? We would want to treat that. That would affect pH balance of the vulva and the vagina and could make sex more painful. Is she lubricating on her own? Friction could make things much more painful, especially afterwards. Have you tried different lubes, different types and brands of condoms, maybe latex free, to see if that improves? Sometimes there is a condom allergy, and switching up brands could make a difference. Also, assuming you're trying all of these things. Are you washing your sex toys? Are fingernails and things entering the vulva clean? Wanted just to note that some swelling in the area due to an increase in blood flow is normal. However, it sounds like this is painful and could be leading to infections, which I don't have more info on, but I'm assuming that after the swelling, there's a yeast infection, but I do not know. This could also be an autoimmune response. So generally, if her body doesn't really like your fluids or they're reacting, generally using a condom and not ejaculating inside the vulva would fix this. So you could have sex without the swelling if it is an autoimmune thing. So I asked some clarifying questions on this one, and I did get a response back. Started happening as soon as they were together. Used a few different lubes and condoms, also no condom. And then I asked the question that could change this all. Does it happen if she masturbates? It does not. So this is the truth. This is the vulva truth. Our vulvas and vaginas know. They know the truth of the universe, of life force, God, source, whatever you want to call it. This is a life-giving portal. As women, we create fucking life. Vulvas often know truths we are not willing to admit to ourselves. This woman does not feel safe. Maybe she doesn't feel safe in this relationship. Maybe she doesn't feel safe with her sexuality. Maybe there is trauma in her past. Maybe she doesn't feel safe communicating her needs. But there is 100% a mindset component to this. And sometimes, we don't want this to be true. And I see this with women all the time in my coaching, in my groups. A vulva that is relaxed, safe, will open wide to let you in deep. It will lubricate without issue. There will be no pain, like I reminded you. Babies, like we give birth to babies. So if we can stretch to accommodate a 9-pound baby, we can definitely accommodate a cock and rougher sex without issue when things are working properly. So a relaxed, turned on vulva will invite you in, draw you in, and devour you whole. You can probably feel my excitement talking about this because I'm teaching women about these things, about when they're ready for penetration. And I'm even working on see, I digress. This is why when I don't have a script, I could just talk for hours. We're working on moving my sexual energy. Like these are tantra practices, moving it up so it's easier for sex to last longer. Anyways, if you want these insider tips and tricks, join us, work with us in the Pleasure Collective. Back to the question. Where I would recommend this couple starts is taking penetration off the table completely and doing things that do not cause this swelling, do not create this problem for a couple months. And I recommend this woman does some work on her own sexual health and wellness, her beliefs, her desires, her communications, her needs, her healing, her past trauma. Even if we don't think we have trauma, if you are a woman growing up in our society, you have sexual trauma. So people always want the easy fix. Oh, just do this or take this probiotic or shove this probiotic up your vulva and it will cure your chronic yeast infections or pain or whatever. I generally find that it is not that simple. So good luck. Hopefully that is helpful. Let me know how that goes. All right, updates on me. And it's funny, but y'all listen to the episodes that like about my divorce and my personal stuff. We check the ratings and they are very highly listened to. So I don't always love talking about myself. And also, so many of you reach out via DM, you send us emails, you write reviews about this podcast and how it is helping you. And I love it, love it, love it. I feel close to so many of you. I know you're listening like while the baby's asleep, while you're out for a walk, while you're at the gym doing something. And yeah, it means the world to me to know that you're there, you're listening, it's resonating, what you want more of. Love it. So anyways, some updates. This one, update number 1, I am moving my medical practice virtual. For those of you that have followed me since COVID, I've published a book, The Pink Canary. I had a baby. I started a new business, The Pleasure Collective. I built a house. And so much has changed for me. So much has shifted for me. And I'm excited and sad. I go into my medical clinic. I look around at the office. I see the furniture that I picked for the perfect location, the care that I did picking the perfect flooring and light fixtures. And after 8 years, I'm ready to let that go. COVID gave me time to pause and really look at how I was living my life a little out of integrity. I didn't want to work 60 or 70-hour weeks anymore. COVID made so much more possible. Virtual care, community medicine, things that were getting me better and faster results with less effort and less overhead. Now, this is the crazy part. This is the truth. This is me admitting that I am human too. It took me 2 years to decide this. I did something that super women really struggle to do. I chose what is going to work for me and my family. And that's a huge one for me. It's one of the reasons why I hung on for so long. I hung on for so long, paying an extra. Listen to this. This is a superwoman mistake, right? Because when we do it big. We don't do it small. We don't make small mistakes. We do big ones. I held onto my medical practice knowing that I was paying an extra $10,000 a month than I needed to be paying for 2 years. Do the math. Do the math on that. And I was making this decision for other people, for my patients, for my team, because this was a model of care that had been done for years and years and years. So let's just make sure we're very clear on that. Me, the desire queen, the pleasure coach, was people pleasing. And I could see myself doing it. And I was stuck for a long time in making this decision. I knew with COVID that I can change the way I do business. I can reach more women worldwide. I can provide better care, better patient outcomes, more support with less overhead and less work. Just had to get to the point where I was ready to let go a dream that I had, a business that I built, which I'm not really letting it go. I'm just changing the model, the method of delivery. And it feels great. I'm sad. And for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, I will be doing visits out of my home office just for you. So see you there. Summary on that one: excited for the new direction, sad to see my physical office go. It's going to great hands though. And yeah, definitely going to cry when I hand over the keys. But as we say in the Pleasure Collective, up and up only. Update number 2. I am going to be doing 2 podcasts a month. Couple reasons why. I am writing another book, the Burnout book. It is so good. I am juicy every time I sit down at my laptop to write, tweak. Already have the outline, written the first chapter. I'm so excited. I get asked all the time, is there a book I can read? Like, where can I find this information? Turns out I have to write the book. So Superwomen, hang tight. I'm coming for you. We're going to get that information out there. And no, it is not going to fix all of your problems, but it's going to let you know why you have it all from the outside looking in, why you're a hot mess on the inside and still not happy, why you're successful. You have the house, the car, the family, the job, like your family's good from the outside looking in, but something is missing. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So the other part of the decision, aside from me writing my book and needing more time for stillness, we podcast weekly really for the algorithm and to make sure people see our stuff. However, if you could share one of my episodes with a friend, another fellow superwoman that you know that needs to hear it, That would be amazing. And we can beat this together. So when I was considering what the next iteration, the next evolution of my life would look like with closing the clinic, with having this desire to write another book, I wanted freedom. I wanted time to write, time to go internal, time to coach my superwomen and show up fully, time to parent with presence and not from scraps, time to love and fuck and move my body the way that I want to. And I want to deliver amazing, amazing content twice a week instead of a watered down version of what we're giving you. So wanted to let you know I will still be here, but you will be hearing from me every other week. Update number 3, possibly something that I am most excited for in this whole process, this whole streamlining process. The Feminine Burnout Recovery Program is here. And for a limited time, it is the best deal ever. You can do this with me one-on-one or in a group. It is starting at $950 a month for 4 months. This is the community, this is support, this is the resources. If you want to, if I speak to you, if you know you are a superwoman, you know you are burnt out, you want to learn how to eat for your body, balance your hormones, improve your resilience. We're going to work on the physical aspects of the burnout, the weight, the hair loss, skin, energy, moodiness, snappiness, hormone stuff. And we are giving you $1,000 off Pleasure Principles. So our program for better sex and more connected relationships. These will never be this price again. We take 4 women a month. We're already full for September. Visit thepleasurecollective.com/feminine burnout recovery to apply. Cannot wait to work with you and cannot wait for you to meet the other amazing burnt out superwomen just like you. Have a great week, everybody.
If you like what you heard in this episode, leave me a rating. Your support helps me get discovered by more women like you. Together, we can change the conversation around women's sexual health and pleasure for you, your partners, and generations to come.